Dave needs a second date update. He was on a date with Alissa, and we're going to try to help him out. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. So how'd you meet Alissa?
She works with my neighbor, so they set us up.
Yeah.
And I've been divorced for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of kids, 12 and 10.
12 and 10.
Yeah.
Boys or girls?
A boy and a girl.
And a girl.
They're great.
They live with you full time. Do you have full custody, shared custody? What does that
Shared.
situation look like?
Just shared.
The 5-5-5 thing?
Yeah.
What's the 5-5-5 thing?
Every other weekend, and then you alternate the other days. So it's like one parent has them for 5 days, and then the other parent has them for 5. And it works out to every other weekend, but I think it varies when you have them on Monday, Tuesday versus Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Kind of.
that sounds hard to keep up
I
with.
know.
It
You've
is.
already lost me.
Everybody I know that does it, I mean, they
Wow.
have to have it on a calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, like an Outlook calendar.
Yeah.
Except
like
this.
Dad has Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then Mom has
Wow.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then, yeah, it gets wacky.
Yeah, but they say that's the best way to do it as far as so the kids don't feel left out of one parent's life, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I get it. It's just
Yeah.
confusing.
It's too confusing. You keep him. I'll come visit.
Yeah.
That's spoken like a true dad.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Wouldn't it
I'm
be just
kidding.
easier if you did all their laundry?
There's so many amazing dads out there.
I'm just trying to make it easy on you, lovely ex-wife.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I see, like, and that's the thing too. I have friends that are like what Jen is saying,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're like, "Can I just have them the whole week or for the weekend?"
Yes, you
or,
can.
Because it's just too hard to. How are you supposed to play in anything?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Plus with sports. Oh, forget it.
All right. So that situation works for you too. You get along with your ex?
Yeah, we're in good terms.
Good.
But, you know, I'm trying to date again. And I've been on a couple, and it just, nothing, it's just so weird. But I met one that I felt a connection with. I'd love to see her again, but for some reason, she's not returning my call. We went to dinner. We drank a lot of wine, had a great conversation. I felt like she was flirting with me. Everything was pointing to a second date. So I walked her to her car. I went in for a hug, and she kissed me on the cheek.
Oh, you got a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Do you think
it's a
that's
good
sweet?
sign.
Do you like that? I mean, when somebody kisses you on the cheek, does
Yes.
that just feel like, you know, does it feel like a sweet thing? Does it feel like a dismissive thing? Does it feel like, oh, friendship zone thing?
Not at all.
No, it's nice. It's nice. I think
Okay.
it shows that it's a step towards more intimacy later, you know, but not, you know, a ton of intimacy on the first date.
Okay.
That's the way I read it anyway. And maybe I'm wrong because I haven't heard from her. And I've called and I've sent texts. So I'm just wondering what's going on. I'm hoping you guys can get a hold of her.
Like I feel a blow off would be like the arm hug where you don't even really make contact. It's like
And then
this-
a tap.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's like
side.
How do you feel like the tap? You know, the tap where, you know, they're burping you.
No, Jen. Jeff's talking about like where you're like, oh, hi.
Right.
Or like
Kinda.
the side.
The
Yeah,
really
it's
the insincere side hug.
Yeah, it's more of a reach and a tilt.
Yeah, but if I get a real hug and a kiss on the cheek,
Why not on the lips though? If you're feeling the cheek, why wouldn't you just do the lip?
you know, that's a fact. Because the last person who kissed me on the lips, who was just a friend, I ended up marrying her. So
Oh, there you go.
I was
Look
like,
at
whoa,
that.
that was okay.
Yeah, but like I feel like if she wasn't like I didn't go in for a kiss, right? So I feel like if she wasn't interested, she wouldn't have like, taken it to that place. Even a kiss on the cheek seemed like more than a hug, you know?
Yeah. Now, did she allude to anything? Like, did you guys discuss potential future plans?
I mean, we kind of closed the night with you know, I'd like to do this again. And she was like, sure.
Yeah, let me seal it with a kiss on the cheek.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hate the word sure.
Sure.
It is not a yes. It feels very open-ended to me.
I think it depends on the tone. I mean, I think when you verbally say it, sure. Yeah, sure.
But
I
see,
think-
you said sure,
What?
yeah. Why didn't you
Sure.
just say yeah?
Just say sure.
It's like-
as in yeah.
Right, but sometimes when I'm like, hey, do you want to go out for dinner? Sure.
Sure.
If I respond to you via text and I say sure with an exclamation point, that is an emphatic yes.
Well, that's the exclamation point talking, though.
Yep.
If you just write the word sure, That is such a cop-out.
I can take you or leave you.
Yes.
It's just like fine. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
But it also could be like, that dress is fine.
Right. You're
Well,
right
you
about
gotta
tone.
do it in all caps.
But I
Yes.
still hate the
Fine.
word sure.
F-I-N-E, fine.
I'll try is failing with honor. How many people do you know that says, I'll try to be there?
Oh, that's a no.
And then
I
they
say it all the time
actually-
and I'm not going to be
But
there.
that's exactly it. That's failing with honor. That is, I am not coming, but I'm going to let this person think that I'm going to put forth the effort to get there.
Yeah. Oh my God, I did everything I could.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to
Didn't
be.
pan out,
No.
no.
When it's working for you, it's a good time. But when it's working against you, I'm a no.
Right. All right. Well, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll call Alissa and see what she thought of Dave and her date with him. And if there's any chance of these two seeing each other again, a second date update continues.
Try is failing with honor. How many people do you know that says, I'll try to be there?
Oh, that's a no.
then
I
they
say it all the time
actually-
and I'm not going to be there.
But that's
Exactly.
exactly it. That's failing with honor. That is, I am not coming, but I'm going to let this person think that I'm going to put forth the effort to get there.
Yeah. Oh my God, I did everything I could.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to
Didn't
be.
pan out,
No.
no.
When it's working for you, it's a good time. But when it's working against you, I'm a no.
Right. All right. Well, Dave met Alissa, not through a dating app, but actually through a neighbor of his. Evidently, they worked together and they had a lovely date, had a lot in common. You know, Dave is fairly new to the dating scene. He's looking to get back out there. He's divorced a couple years ago. He's got two young kids, not that young. What'd you say, 10 and 12, a boy and a girl?
That's correct.
And he's on pretty good terms with his ex. He got a nice shared custody arrangement.
5 days here, 5 days there. Mm-hmm.
What's her situation? Does she have any kids?
Yeah, she has kids about as old as mine, actually. She's divorced
Okay.
as well. So we kind of bonded about that, I thought.
No doubt.
Does she have a lot of kids or just like one or two?
She has two.
Okay.
And then Dave mentioned at the end of the date, she seemed open to getting together again, even though they didn't make any firm plans. But he did get a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And I take a kiss on the cheek as a positive.
Yeah. Unless he was going in for the kiss on the lips and she turned her cheek or vice versa. If you get the turn at the last second,
Okay.
that's a problem. I had a guy once, we were just, it was very, very funny because we were in this really tight situation. And this was a guy that I worked with. And we were in this it was in a bar and things were really tight. And we both turned our heads toward each other at the same time. And no lie, like our lips touched. And he looked at me thinking that I was trying to kiss him.
You totally were.
I was not at all. Not even a little bit.
You sure?
And I was like laughing because I thought it was so funny. And the look on his face, his eyes just got huge and you could tell. He's like, you just kissed me. And I'm like, I didn't mean to.
That's really funny.
I really
I wish I had
didn't.
video of that.
I didn't. I
That would've been awesome.
swear to God, I did not. Yeah.
Well, for some reason, she's not returning any of his texts. So let's call her up and see what's going on there.
Hello,
Alissa,
who's calling?
Jeff, Jen, Fritch, and Tim at Q102. How are you?
I'm okay. Hi.
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 We've heard great things about you.
How? What? How come?
We spoke to a mutual friend. And no, it was all good. He said very nice things. You sound lovely. And we just wanted to meet you and ask if you would have any interest in hanging out with Dave again.
Really? He called you?
He did.
Oh my God.
That's what you do when you're excited about a date with someone. You call your friends and say, hey, I just went on this great date.
On the radio.
Well, you know, it's a weird relationship, but that's what we do for our listeners.
Yep.
Oh.
Are you open to seeing Dave again?
So, do you guys know everything?
I don't know. Is there more to the story?
Now that I'm telling it on the radio, no, not really. It sounds really dumb. I don't know. But so we met through my coworker.
Yeah.
And I had to drop something off at my coworker's house. And when I was there, I asked her where he lived because, you know, when you start liking someone, you need to make sure they don't, like, live in the house with rats and possums all around it. And
Is that a concern?
You know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't want to date Boo Radley. And she pointed out his house, and I was like, oh, no way. He's one of those homeowners. He's, like, obsessed with his lawn, and all the yards around him are dead because we've had all this dry weather, and his is bright green, and it's manicured perfectly. And
This is Dave's yard.
Dave's yard.
Oh, you need to run the other way, lady.
Right? I know. Danger. It doesn't sound... It's just that, like, either he has a sprinkler system or he's out there with a hose every day and he mows in crisscrosses and the garage door was open. And this doesn't make me sound great either as I'm telling it, but I saw 3 mowers in there, 2 riding mowers, really nice ones and a push one and an entire wall of yard tools. And I was married to a guy like that who spent all his time working in the yard and he didn't have time for me or the kids. It was about the grass. And this is a very specific sort of trigger, but I just can't date another guy who loves his lawn more than the people in his life. I can't do it.
Honest to God, this is the reason.
I'm afraid so. And now I've just told the radio, and I'm going to have to move away and maybe change my name.
No. I mean, that's interesting. I never would have guessed that.
I know.
I mean, you see guys, you know, when you drive through the suburbs, you will see guys out in their yard all hours of the day and night holding a hose. And you just wonder, are they really enjoying what they're doing right now? Or are they just trying to run away from what's going on inside the house?
A little bit of both, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
My neighbor Chip loved it so much.
He did.
He even did my lawn.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I understand.
And he was divorced not much longer after
Not
that.
much longer after
But
that.
I know where she's coming from on this because I get really pissed off every spring/summer/into fall because it feels like our life revolves around Scott mowing the grass.
Yeah, well, you got a big lot.
And we do, which I get. We have almost 3 acres, but it's like, well, I got to go home. I got to cut the grass. Well, I can't take her. I got to cut the grass. I can't. We can't go to your mom's. I got to cut the grass. And I'm like, for the love of God, you and this bleeping grass.
The
No.
grass will be
Hire somebody. You can afford to
But
hire
it's not
somebody to
just
cut
that.
the grass.
He enjoys doing it, but I'm just like, it's the whole like, this person starts mowing the grass, so then he's got to mow the grass. Well, they mowed the grass yesterday, so I got to get ours done today. And I'm like, oh my, we're
How many
almost
times a week is he mowing?
right now? Not a
Not at all.
ton because of
It's dead.
the drought conditions. But if it's a rainy, we could probably do 3 times a week.
Oh my
No joke.
God.
It
That's
grows like
extreme.
nuts. But it grows crazy if it's rainy.
I'm a believer that grass is a cheap ground cover. That's what it's there for, so you don't have to take care of it a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have planted rose shrubs and all sorts of fun things.
Well, Alyssa, there are football widows, and then there are, I guess, yard widows. And
Yeah.
so you're saying
I'm learning that there are a lot of us. I thought I was a crazy lady.
that's funny. Let's bring Dave into the conversation.
He
Dave, in
could.
1,000 years, I would not have predicted this. You there, Dave?
Dave?
Hello, Dave. The line's connected.
Well, he must have had to go mow the lawn.
Yeah. He hung up because he was like, guess what?
He saw weed.
Can't talk to you. It just rained. We got to go.
Went to go get his whacker.
It's go time.
That's so funny. Honest to God. So my neighbor Chip, I wasn't kidding when I said that he mowed my lawn. And then when I moved away, I just let him have my lawnmower.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Because mine was nicer than his, and I felt like it was the least I could do. He wouldn't take any money.
Yeah, I know.
And I remember that we had this big fight about it in the beginning. He says, I'm going to start taking care of your yard. I'm like, no, you're not. He goes, well, you're not, clearly. I'm like, okay.
You were bringing down his property value.
I said I was going to hire somebody. And he's like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. I'll do it for you. I'm like, people hire lawn guys all the time. They have people for this. And he said, what can I tell you? It's fun for me. This is my favorite thing to do. I love it more than anything. And that's why his marriage ended.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
There are you. Dave, where'd you go?
Sorry, guys. I had to move the sprinkler.
Of course.
Oh, my God.
Of course.
Girl, run.
Have you been listening to everything that has been transpiring here? And are you being sarcastic, or did you really go move the sprinkler?
I gotta say, I'm surprised. I mean, yeah, I care about my lawn, but it's not an obsession. I'd rather have a relationship than a nice lawn, you know? It's a hobby. It's just like anything else.
I mean, this is a real thing with Alissa.
I mean, do you spend so much time in your yard just because you don't really have anything better to do? Or do you really enjoy it? Is it a passion? Is it your only passion?
Are you worried what others think of you based on your lawn?
It's literally just a hobby, like anyone else would have a hobby. If I had a relationship, I would definitely prioritize that. That's why I'm dating again. The only thing that I would prioritize over a relationship are my kids.
When you say it's a hobby, like, for me, it's a chore. But a hobby is usually something you enjoy.
Yeah.
What other hobbies do you have besides making your lawn look like a chessboard?
I mean, I like to cook. I like to exercise. I like to stay in pretty good shape. You know, it's just a part of life. I spend a couple hours on it on the weekends, and that's it, you know?
But you got 3 mowers. Why do you have 3 mowers?
Well, one of them is I've got a riding lawnmower and I've got a push mower to get the smaller areas.
Yeah.
And then I've got another rider that I'm actually going to try and sell.
Kristen has the lawn guys use the push mower in the front, like where the landscaping beds are and stuff. And then in the back, which is pretty deep, it's just grass. Then they can use the
My word.
riding mower.
You've been riding on the whole thing.
Alissa, my question for you is, now that you've voiced your concerns out loud, and I'm not saying they're not valid, but I'm curious if you have a different outlook on it now that you've bounced it off other people.
Yeah, well, I'm comforted to know that so many of us feel the same way.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that he enjoys doing other things.
So does that mean you're open to a second date with Dave?
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
Turnaround.
I was not expecting this at all. I was out. That was a hard pass.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a woman of surprises. What can I tell you?
Also, you know what? Let me just say this. If he's paying that much attention to his own lawn, maybe he can take care of you as well.
I can think of a lot more fun things to do than cut grass, but maybe.
I love it.
We'll see. Maybe, how did the rest of his house look? I mean, did it look well kept?
No.
Does he take care of the bushes too?
What's your weed whacker like, man?
Hey.
Come over and whack my weeds, baby. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Well, we'll set it up. Yeah, Dave, thank you for putting yourself out there. We'll make the arrangements with you. Alissa, you'll be hearing from Dave soon. Thank you both for coming on Second Date Update. It was